What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to From Band to Best, the story of Veno. It's from bhronos. Make sure to check him out. His links will be in the description. Make sure to subscribe to him and like this video. But make sure to subscribe to my channel too. But yeah, we're just going to be reacting to it. Let's get right into it.
This is Veno. He is one of the best Fortnite players
He's
in
one
the
of the
world,
goats,
but
bro.
he should not be in this position. 4 years after the game's release, he was permanently
I actually knew this. He got banned because of a really stupid reason. He didn't cheat or anything, but it'll get into it. I don't want to slow
banned
on
after his
people that
best
don't know.
placement ever, and this should have been the end of his career. So how did he go from not being able to play Fortnite to one of the best players of all time? Well, Harry Veno Pearson was born on November 26, 2004 in Bath, England. Growing up, he was the youngest in his family, and they
He's only
moved
5
all
years
over
old.
England due to his father's job. He was a very energetic and happy kid, but around 11 years old, he started getting picked on in school, which made his parents start homeschooling him. During this time, his older brother got him into video games by introducing him to Gears of War and FIFA. Veno also started playing games on PC, including battle royales like H1Z1. He enjoyed the battle royale genre and eventually found Fortnite. Through Fortnite, he was able to make friends and enjoyed playing the game. This passion
I think most of everyone's first battle royale was Fortnite. I know it was mine. By the way, guys, if you see my face like light up at all, like it just randomly, there's a storm going on outside and there's lightning. So same if you hear like a boom, there's lightning outside.
eventually made him start to take the game serious. Veno started playing competitive Fortnite very early on. The first event he competed in was the solo gauntlet finals in March of 2019, and he placed 318th. While it wasn't a great
It's not
placement,
bad for
it was a
his first
sign that he
placement,
could compete with the best
honestly.
of the best. Going into the $30 million Fortnite World Cup, he would team up with Juganza, who was a fairly known Swedish pro at the time. While Veno didn't come close to qualifying for the World Cup, with his best placement being 335th in solos and 173rd in duos, he was still able to make $1,225, which was fairly impressive for a 14-year-old. After this, the Fortnite Championship Series, better known as FNCS, was announced along with Season X. This was a great sign for the future of competitive, as Epic was continuing to fund the prize pool and showed that Fortnite could be a serious esport. For some reason, Veno did not compete in this season's FNCS, but during this time period, he made a terrible decision that would come back to haunt him later on. The next time we saw Veno compete in an event was Duo FNCS in Chapter 2 Season 2, and he did not play well at all. He had 3 different duos throughout the 4 weeks of competition and was only able to make it past the first round 2 out of the 4 weeks. But luckily for him, he had another chance to prove himself in this season's solo FNCS Invitational. We didn't know it yet, but solos is where Veno would thrive. On May 2nd, 2020, the open qualifiers for this tournament started, and after placing a respectable 25th on day 1, it was looking like he would qualify with ease, as all he needed to do was place top 200. Unfortunately, the next day he was not able to replicate the success he had on day 1, finishing 901st. This meant he missed yet another chance to show everyone how good he is. For most people, this would be extremely demotivating and might cause them to quit, but for Veno, it only made him want to get better. Chapter 2 Season 3 would also feature a solo FNCS, and this meant he was able to grind as much as he wanted. He played solo scrims every single day, and putting this much time into Fortnite also made him improve overall. In Qualifier 1, he failed to make it to round 3, which sucked, but instead of having to wait an entire week for the second qualifier, it started the next day. This is where he popped off, placing 46th in round 1, 40th in round 2, and 17th in finals, which made him $350 and guaranteed him a spot in Heats. Veno also placed
So I used to play a lot of these. So I just explained a storm mode custom is where you can't fight till like 4th zone or something, and everyone just did it because apparently it was good practice, but it was really so unrealistic, bro. If I'm being honest, but
87th in qualifier 3, making another $200, and he was confident that he could qualify for his first grand finals. Sadly, he was contested in his heat and finished a disappointing 88th place. While he did take home $1,000, he failed to make grand finals, which was the only thing he cared about.
they used to have money in the qualifiers. That was the good old days, bro.
Although Veno wasn't having the most success, he slowly started working his way up and began playing with better teammates like Nyrox, who won the World Cup duos with Aqua. Despite this, he had one of his worst FNCS performances ever in Chapter 2 Season 4. He did not make a single final, which also meant that he didn't qualify for Heats. Although he had his worst season yet, Fortnite hosted the Frosty Frenzy, which was a trio event with a $5 million prize pool. He was able to make money in all 4 of these sessions, securing $2,000, essentially doubling his earnings in 2 days. To start 2021, Veno had his best placement yet, finishing second in the solo cash cup, and he would
they give out so much money in Frosty Frenzy and Winter Royale. I didn't play either. It was raining heavy outside. That's probably what you guys hear right now. But I didn't play either, but I wish I did, bro. Like even in like top like 10,000 or something got money.
team up
Like, I
with
could've
Knifer
got
and Patty
easier.
looking to qualify for his first grand finals. It was evident that he had been grinding and it was finally going to pay off.
See,
After
vibrate.
qualifying for heats, they needed to place top 8 to qualify for Veno's first grand final, and they finished in exactly 8th place. Unfortunately, the trio did struggle in grands, only managing to place 20th, but at
Still
the end
made
of the
grands,
day,
though.
qualifying was the confidence boost Veno needed to continue grinding.
Still made
After this,
grands.
he would finally catch his first big break. He was picked up by Aqua to trio with him and CRR, who were top players at the time. Although Veno didn't have the best
I feel like
placements,
Aqua's
he
always
showed a
been a
lot
top
of
player.
potential as an individual player,
Won
and
World
this is
Cup,
why
he's
Aqua took a
won
chance on him.
multiple
In less than
FCSs
2
like
seasons,
Season
he went
X.
from not qualifying to
he
heats to
won with
trioing
Veno?
with Tier 1 pros. Chapter 2 Season 6, also
Chapter
known as
3, I don't
Primal
know what
Season,
season
was
it
really
was.
bad,
No.
and most pros did not want to grind, so this
Queasy
allowed
won.
Veno to gain an edge on everybody else.
is when his
Playing
duo
with and
Queasy
talking
won.
to the best players in the game every day also
His
helped
new
him become really good really fast. Him, Aqua, and CRR absolutely dominated the qualifiers, easily securing their spot in heats. It was looking like he would finally have a chance to dominate in FNCS Grand Finals, but as soon as he was making strides to the top, it all came crashing down out of nowhere. The decision that Veno made almost 2 years
he got
earlier
banned.
finally caught up to him. You see, buying and
On his
selling
account.
accounts is strictly against Epic Games' terms of service. In June 2018, Tfue
that
purchased an
sucks.
account with OG skins on it like Renegade Raider and Recon Expert, and a few weeks later, his main account and the account he purchased were both deactivated.
One day I signed on to Fortnite and my account was inactive or deactivated or something, whatever. I couldn't get on. So I tried to get on my alt account. That was inactive as well.
Veno decided to purchase an account towards the end of 2019, and he didn't think much of it because he was fairly unknown at the time. Sadly, Epic Games started to investigate the accounts of every player who qualified for FNCS heats, and they found out the account he was playing on was purchased from somebody else. Because of this, his account was permanently deactivated, and he
I wonder how they find that out. Like, how do they track like all that? Probably from like different IPs or something. Well, that's cool. I see a lot of people on my TikTok like selling accounts. It's actually risky, bro. If you ask me,
he was disqualified from FNCS heats along with his trio. Veno, along with the rest of the community, could not believe it. He was on his way to becoming one of the best players in the game for it to all be taken away because he wanted some cool skins. It looked like the end of Veno's career, but he was actually still allowed to compete. You might be wondering how he could still play
Make a new
after
account.
getting banned, and the answer is he wasn't actually banned. While his account was disabled, he could still compete on another account since he wasn't banned for cheating. This was a huge sigh of relief, and now that he had a second chance, he was not going to let it slip away. Right after this unfolded, Fortnite hosted the Solo All-Star Invitational. 90 of the 100 spots were filled with players from trios who
Bro,
placed
Hen
well
was a
enough in
demon.
FNCS throughout the year, but the other 10 spots were up for grabs in open qualifiers. The last time there were open qualifiers for a major solo tournament, Veno was unable to perform, but this time he had other plans. Leading up to the tournament, one of Fortnite's best coaches, Destiny's Jesus, put together a group of players
Dude,
where
I
he
was
had
watching
coaching
Destiny's
sessions to help them
Jesus
prepare.
earlier today.
This group included
It was like
Tayson,
how they're
Janice,
qualified for
Rezon,
the
a few other Tier 1
Victory
pros,
Cup every
and
day.
Veno. With the best coach and the best players to help develop a game plan, he
actually
was ready
really,
to show
like,
the world how
smart.
good he really is. He breezed through the open qualifiers, finishing second and securing his spot in the grand finals. At this point, he was guaranteed $2,000, but his eyes were set on the $150,000 prize for first
1v1
place.
happened.
Nobody expected someone who had to earn their spot in
Everyone
open
knows this
qualifiers
one,
to
like,
place well, but Veno was
one of the most
about to
famous
prove
clips of all
everybody
time.
wrong.
Just take him off, bro. Nice, good kill. Nice. Nice, mats. Let's go, Veno. You're so fucking good, bro.
Dude,
go!
I
Let's go,
hated
Veno.
Bony Burbs, bro. I fucking hated Bony Burbs as a drop. It's just a ripoff of Salty Tower.
Nice.
And I feel like there's like no loot there.
Nice.
And no one landed.
Nice, Veno. It's fine. 90 points, bro. Let's fucking go, Veno.
Going into the last game, Veno was in first by 3 points, and the person in second was none other than Tayson. On one hand, you have the greatest player of all time trying to cement his legacy, and on the other hand, you have an unknown player trying to prove himself and secure his first FNCS win. Both of them played the last game absolutely flawless until it was just them alive. Whoever won this 1v1 would win the tournament and
most
go
sick
down
moments
in
of all
Fortnite
time.
history forever.
You have to be focusing on right now. Tayson is literally in a world of hurt, but at the same time finds two. That could be the difference. It'll have to be Veno going for the win right now in order to catch
Tayson
up. He's going for Eric as well. If he
For
gets
an
3,
IGL,
that
he
could be
has some of the
it.
best
He's
specs.
moving forward, forcing the placement.
It's
Tayson on
crazy.
all walls, but he sees everything through. Finds
He might
it.
have like some
Big
of the best
round.
specs
Tayson
in
takes
IGL, except for,
Veno
like
missed his
Burger or
pump
something,
shot.
bro.
Although
Yeah.
he lost the 1v1 and missed out on his
Missed the
first
pump.
FNCS title, Veno still made an insane $120,000, which was
Light
more than enough
120.
for him to be happy, as he
Light
made over 10
120K.
times his earnings in one weekend. And from here, he was off to the races. Tayson decided to pick him up for this season's FNCS alongside Rezon.
Reason?
As expected, they dominated qualifiers, and going into grand finals, they were expected to win. After day 1, they were in
Reason's still
13th
a
place,
demon,
which would
bro.
be extremely hard to come back from, but still possible. Although they performed much better on day 2, they finished in 5th overall. While this would be a great placement for most players, Tayson, Veno, and Rezon expected to win, and since they didn't, they split up. The next season, Veno would team up with Mongrel and Joe. This was towards
didn't
the end of
qualify
Mongrel's career, and while he was still very good, he wasn't in his prime
Mongrel
anymore. They
came
performed
back.
okay in qualifiers, but finished 18th in their heat, missing out on grand finals. Right after this was the FNCS Grand Royale. This event had the biggest prize pool we had seen since the
World
Fortnite
Cup.
World Cup, but sadly, Veno would miss out on qualifying once again. After missing back-to-back grand
Dude, if
finals,
he
people
had-
started to
if he
question if
qualified
he
for
was
all this, he
actually
would have
good
so
or
much
if he
earnings,
just
bro.
had a lucky performance in Solo All-Stars. In December of 2021, Chapter 3 came out, and now
Dude,
that Trios
Grinded this season, bro. Like, I got the most arena points I ever had, like probably 14, 15K.
had been to competitive
I
game mode
played
for over
all
2
day.
years, everybody was asking for a change. Thankfully, Duos was announced as the game mode for the
See,
entirety of the
the
chapter.
goat.
While Veno was good in trios, he was primarily a solo player, so Duos allowed him to play more to his strengths. He teamed up with his old trio mate Joe, and they flew through qualifiers with a 15th and 12th place finish in the 2
I've
weeks
really
and a
heard
5th
of
place in
Joe.
their heat. Going into grand finals, anything
Like,
other
I've
than
heard
a
his
win
name,
would
I
be
just,
a
like, don't know
disappointment,
his
and they
places.
did not win. At this point, Veno had the earnings, the respect, and the ability to be great, but he could not win. Luckily, there was one player who was not a stranger to winning, and that was Aqua. While Veno getting banned did waste an entire season for Aqua, he forgave him and decided that he would be the person to get him his second FNCS win. From the beginning of the season, they were unstoppable, placing 4th, 7th, 6th, 8th, 1st, and 1st
That's
in the Duo
insane,
Cash
bro.
Cups. Aqua was known
Top
as
10
the
in
best
everything.
height player in the game, but in previous grand finals, there was always a team stopping him. There was no dominant height team other than last season's
And-
FNCS winners, Queasy and Hen, but they were not having a good season. Going into FNCS, all the
Yeah,
pieces were
they
coming
ripped
together,
cars,
and there
so
was a
Hen
good
and
chance
Queasy
Aqua and
just
Veno would be the champions,
didn't
but there was
perform.
one problem. Aqua would constantly complain and yell at Veno.
I said I have the SMG and you get slapped across 8 feet behind you! Are you trolling me?
You actually some ass cheeks.
I'm getting trolled!
The constant
That
berating
is
would
not how I
absolutely
talk to
kill
any
the
of my
duo's
duos,
vibes,
bro.
but going into grand finals, this did not seem
I
to
did not
matter
recommend
at
talking
all.
to your duos
He's
like
going,
this,
he's
bro.
going. No, I'm low, behind me. Let's go. Shooting, they're fighting, 60. Track, watch me, in there.
How'd
Got
they
there.
win by
I'm double
arguing
down.
the entire time,
1v2, I'm pretty sure. Got a ball.
Like, how'd they win
61.
Take it off. Good fucking shit!
Did we actually, are you sure?
Yes, they just died!
Are you sure?
Yes! Yeah!
Oh my god, are you sure? Are you 100% sure?
Bro, he's getting
I'm down.
Yeah. I got it!
I got it as well.
Yes!
Oh, that's so clean.
Veno finally won his first FNCS title and made another $150,000. While he was
150
obviously
grand,
one of the
bro.
most talented Fortnite players in the world, he had a massive advantage that made him better than everybody else. That advantage was extremely supportive parents. From the beginning, even when he wasn't making a lot of money, Veno's mom and dad did everything they could to help him be successful and
Yeah.
achieve his goals.
That helps out
Sacrifices
so
that
much,
I've had
bro.
to make for Harry becoming a pro gamer. I have to mirror his hours. So he's eating his
W mom in the chat.
dinner at 2 a.m.
He
So I'm
eats
making
dinner
that
at
fresh.
2
So that's a sacrifice.
Before major tournaments, they would always make sure he was in a good headspace and ready to go. His mom and dad watched every tournament, and you can tell how much they care by how nervous they are when he's competing.
I do crazy things. I won't let anybody go on the internet because I don't want them making the speed less for Harry or the ping higher
After winning FNCS, Veno and Aqua would
I don't even think my
surprisingly
mom
split
knows
as a
what ping
duo,
is,
but
bro,
not
I'm
for
gonna
the
be
reason
honest.
you'd think. Throughout his career, Aqua has always dealt with hand and wrist injuries, which prevent him from
couldn't
grinding
play.
for long periods of time. He decided to take a break for the next season as they had already qualified for the FNCS Invitational in Raleigh since they won FNCS. At the same time, Queasy was also looking for a new duo after a disappointing performance with Hen. As Queasy was the other dominant height IGL in EU, this worked out perfectly as they fit each other's playstyles. Their first season playing together in Chapter 3 Season 3 went fairly well as they won a Duo Cash Cup and placed third in FNCS Grand Finals. This meant that Veno could now play the Global Championships with Queasy because they qualified themselves. Going into the tournament, it looked
Actually, it's the Fortnite Invitational.
like they were poised to win.
Fucking
In
sound
the
like a
weeks
nerd,
leading
bro.
up to
Cut
the
that out,
FNCS Invitational, there were 3 Elite Cups and they placed first in 2 and second in the other. Not only were Queasy and Veno in peak form, they were the only good height duo competing in the Global Championships. They put in more time than ever because they had one objective, and that was to win. There was one issue though. Due to the lack of dominant height teams, Cammy and Seti decided they were going to start playing it as well. They were easily the most prepared duo in the lobby as they were able to perform no matter the circumstances. After picking up a win in Game 5 and a second place in Game 6, Queasy and Veno finished day 1 in first place. With a 5-point lead on second and a 10-point lead on Cammy and Seti, they just had to do the same thing tomorrow and they would win. And their dominance would continue on the first game of day 2.
This is basically Queasy and Veno's game.
Both sides are starting to run out now. Queasy's down to 1 build as well. This is looking very dire. They're gonna have to cap off. Janice and Vidil know better. They need to continue the pressure. Veno goes down. He takes a shot. Vidil blocks it. Beautifully done. Janice stuck up from behind. Queasy with a great follow-up. And oh my God, it was so close. But Queasy touches out in the end.
They picked up a 4-kill win and extended their lead by even more. Their next 4 games would
got
be
a little
solid,
more
but
kills
Cammy and Seti's were even better as they secured 2 wins and 2 top 5s. At this point, Cammy and Seti were in first with 360 points, and Queasy and Veno were 12 points behind. Both of the duos were so far ahead of third place that going into the last game, even if they both got 0 points, they would still finish first and second. Because of this, Queasy and Veno had 2 choices: play the game out normally and hope to get more points than Cammy and Seti, or they could 50-50 them off spawn. This is when the most iconic moment in the history of Fortnite competitive went down.
Queasy, Veno.
I don't know about most iconic. I would say like Booga, Game 1 World Cup. They're probably the same.
Trying to take it
But I'd say
by
Booga,
force.
Game
You
1 World
only win in one way, and that's taking that crown. Veno is here. Queasy is here. Down goes
Dude,
Seti.
if Queasy waited for
It's
Veno,
a
bro.
one-on-one.
If Queasy
This
waited
has
for
to
Veno to
be
push
one
up.
of the most explosive head-to-heads we have ever
They
seen.
would've won.
Veno has to get this thirst here. He knows now it means everything. We might as well seal this deal. Why wait?
Double shield going out. He's trying to bait it. He's trying to bait the revive so that way Cammy might peek. Breaks through the wall. Shot's gonna be fired. And they do it. Become legends are on top.
Become Legends has officially managed to win the biggest fight of their careers.
Yet again, Veno lost a 1v1 to win an FNCS title. They still finished second place and made $70,000, which would be a great achievement for anybody, but according to this post-game interview, he was not happy.
I mean, you must be very proud as well, Veno, of what you boys achieved here at Invitational.
No.
This mentality is what separated Veno from everybody else. He was never satisfied and he wanted to win. Going into Chapter 4, he would continue
Dude, I
to duo
love
with
this
Queasy,
season,
but
too.
they did not
I
enjoy the
love
season
Chapter
due to
4.
how broken the
I still
shockwave
like this
hammer
chapter.
was. Because of this,
That's why I
they
stopped
didn't
up
grind
playing
as
that
much as they should have and had a disappointing season for their standards. Yeah, a 4th place finish was considered disappointing. This season was a huge wake-up call and they decided they would be winning the next FNCS no matter what it took.
Dude,
when
this is
Chapter
the
4
most
Season 2 came out, they
dominant
started to
season
work
ever.
with BloodX as their new coach. BloodX was and still
love
is
this
one of the
season
best
too, man.
Fortnite coaches, and his insight could be the difference between a 4th and a 1st place finish. In FNCS qualifiers,
Dude,
they finished
this is the
3rd,
most
1st, and
dominant
7th,
FNCS
automatically
finals
punching
ever.
their ticket to the Grand Finals. With the help of BloodX, they were able to use their drop spot and the kinetic blade in order to craft an unbeatable
landed
high ground
Kenjutsu.
strategy. Since they landed at Kenjutsu Crossing, they were almost guaranteed to get
I watched
purple
a
kinetic
resub
blades,
video on
which
this
had
too.
3 charges as opposed to the blue ones, which only had 2. Because of this, they were able to use the blade to
triple
fly
kinetic
high into
blade
the
up to
sky
get
and be
higher
higher
than
than everybody
everyone.
else and take height every game. It was obvious they were the best duo in this Grand Finals, and we were
No
all
way,
about to
alright,
witness
on max
history.
height, bro.
Nice, Veno. Oh. Nice, Veno. Come on. Yeah. Nice.
6 out of 12 games.
Yeah.
50% win rate, bro. That is
Nice.
insane. 50%
Come on,
win.
man.
In FNCS Grand Finals, one of the best regions.
Yeah.
One of the best regions. I think NA might be a little bit
Oh
better.
yeah, I see. I've done max. Oh my god. You should have flagged, you fucking cyclops. Bro, I didn't see him.
Queasy and Veno won 4 of the 6 games on day 1 of Grand Finals.
And
At
they
the
won
end of the
2 on
day,
day
they
2.
already had a 116-point lead, but they had no plans of slowing down.
These kids are playing heal off, by the way. They're killing.
They basically won in 9 games.
No, that one.
Nice. Nice. Let's go, bro. Nice. Nice.
Yeah, they won 6 of the
They
first
won in
8
9
games in an
games.
EU Grand Finals lobby. By now, the tournament was already over. They could have not played the last 4 games and still won. This was the dominant performance everyone had expected from Queasy and Veno, and the entire community
Actually,
was confused
I'm gonna
how a
say-
team could be
I'm gonna say this is the second most dominant FNCS ever. I think Peterbots might be more dominant, but these are definitely 1 and 2.
this much
100%.
better than everybody else. Obviously, going into the next season, everybody expected them to
this
win
season, bro.
FNCS again, but
I
that did not
hated
happen
this
at
season.
all. After trying a different drop spot in week 1 of qualifiers, they finished 48th place and didn't gain enough series points to qualify for heats. Although there were still 2 weeks of qualifiers left, the format was very questionable. You see, in order to make it out of the open round in Chapter 4
I
Season
hated
3's
this.
FNCS, you needed to place
It's the
top
only season I
200 out
didn't
of
like in
tens of
Chapter
thousands
4.
of teams.
And the
This
next
meant
one,
that
with the
one
pumps?
mistake could ruin your chances to qualify, and that is exactly what happened to Queasy and Veno. They failed to make it out of opens the last 2 weeks, meaning they missed out on Grand Finals. Fortnite is the only game where you'll see a team put up a historic finals performance, then not qualify for finals in the next season. Thankfully, their FNCS win in the prior season qualified them for the Global Championships in Copenhagen, so they had something to look forward to. Even after failing to make it out of opens twice, they were still a favorite to win. For the next 2 months, they put in the time
Failing
because
to make
the
it
only
out of
thing they
opens
wanted to
is
do
kinda
was win a global LAN after getting second the previous year.
But it did not
Unfortunately,
play
they
that
didn't
good.
perform too well and finished in 11th place. One of the big reasons they didn't place as good as they should have is because every zone pulled across the map from their drop spot at Konjutsu Crossing.
Damn.
Regardless, this was a disappointing
That is a
performance and they split up as a
crazy
duo after it ended. In the first season of Chapter 5,
Tayson.
Veno would team up with Tayson once again, but they were contested in Grand
You would
Finals
think
and
this would
finished
be like
15th
a
place.
GOAT team.
Next season, they stuck together but had another disappointing 11th place finish in FNCS. At this point, they decided
Now
to
he's
split as
playing
a
with
duo.
clicks, baby.
The thing is, most of the duos in EU were really established, so Veno didn't have too many options. With one more FNCS to qualify for this year's Global Championship in Dallas, something had to change. For FNCS Major 3, EU and NA both have 10
I think they're
qualification
gonna win
spots for the
FNCS,
LAN,
bro.
so Veno
They won
decided to
week
move
1
to
and they
NA
did
and
really good
compete
in
with
week 2.
Clicks.
I think they got
At
like
first,
fifth or something.
everybody wondered if
Yeah,
this
they're
was the
gonna-
right
they're
move
gonna
for
win,
Veno,
trust
as
me.
Clicks hasn't placed as well in an FNCS, so it was a big risk. But last weekend,
not
they
fourth.
proved everybody
2
wrong.
seasons
Veno and Clicks showed everybody why they are a
got
top
first.
duo on the region, winning the first week of FNCS qualifiers.
Clicks is actually a really good IGL.
Go down and pump. Go down and pump.
He's a really good IGL. Obviously, Veno's one of the best fraggers.
One more. Coming up.
One.
This season's been okay so far.
Veno! You're the best player to touch the fucking game, Harry!
Even more.
Done by his friend.
I'm turning in his back.
Nice, Venos. You're so fucking good, Veno. Well played, bro.
Veno has made it very clear that he has one goal for this season, and that is to get Clicks his first FNCS win.
What do you want to do by the end of 2024, Veno?
What I want to do is I want to give Clicks his best ever placement.
So far, they're looking good, so now we just have to
wonder
wait
if-
and see if they can do it.
in,
Veno's
like,
story is proof that
Chapter
hard
6,
work
I
will
wonder
beat
if Veno
talent
will stay
every
in
time.
NA.
Although he made
And
his
still
way
play
to
with
the
Clicks,
top of the
if, like, they
competitive
win or
scene
something.
far later than everybody else, he is one of the most accomplished
W
players
video.
in the game. It's crazy to think his career could have been over once he got banned, and we may have never known who he was. If you enjoy videos like
It's a W video. Guys, make sure to check out Bhronos. His link will be in the description. He's an awesome content creator. This is a good video. And he has more good videos on his channel. So make sure to like, subscribe, and peace out, guys.